Welcome back to Hot Point Sessions. My name is Jumanji. I'm your host. We're back with another episode here. This is a good new special guest we got here. Techno DJ, classically trained pianist and fitness enthusiast, health health fitness monster that's
Health
out
nut.
here. Just everything on there. We got Seso here. Thanks for coming out, man.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us and talk about life, music, and everything in between.
Yes, my guy. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for everyone joining in on Hot Point Sessions, where the conversations are hot and the interviews are on point. Let's get into it. So, starting out, how has life been treating you? How's the music scene been treating you?
Pretty fun. It's been busier than ever. Content making, obviously, and
Yeah.
making music as much as possible. Um, I love it. I've never loved it more in my life than right now, I guess,
You're in your zone right now, huh? You're locked in right now in your
Lock
zone.
in. Yeah, the
Doing
lock
your
in
thing.
gang. I always put that on my posts now. But I actually mean it though. I'm legitimately try to do as much as you can that day.
Just staying busy with on top of all of it, huh? Content, making the tracks, getting the gigs. I see you getting a lot
Yeah.
of more gigs and stuff.
Yeah, I really appreciative of that too. Starting to play more outside, obviously, than just my hometown, which is I started doing that last year more, and started to do it. And I'll be in Fresno next weekend.
Oh, nice.
Really excited for that show, and yeah,
Fresno's been popping off with some events lately,
hasn't
and
it?
like came out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
was like, "There's a scene in Fresno. That's tight." I was like,
Shout out Fresno rave scene.
Shout out them. That's
I
funny."
don't know how they did it. Like 2, 3 years ago, they started having a lot of shows, and
Yeah,
then
I noticed that. I was like,
yeah,
"Whoa, they're getting some big heavy hitters." I was like, "That's tight."
I'm loving it. I did never thought in a million years on my bingo card for EDM that Fresno was
Yeah.
gonna be a destination for big names to hang
Right.
out.
Think right now EDM, all the whole EDM culture is like so thriving. It's just everywhere. It's
Yeah.
all over the place right now. Everyone's getting into it. I feel like the fans are like so everywhere. Like you could just meet an EDM person like when you're grocery shopping, it's just
Yeah.
instantly just click with them.
It's weird. I think we live in a golden age right now, comparable to the
Mhm.
2012 to 2016 EDM age,
Oh yeah.
when that was like the peak of the 2010s. Obviously 2007, 2008 too, and I feel like 2026, whatever year we're in right now, it's kind of like that,
Yeah.
where it's seeped in back into the mainstream like Getta did back in
Oh yeah.
2010 to 2016. And now we have EDM everywhere.
Yeah.
Every
It's
club is
getting
playing EDM now.
getting all mainstream into every crevice, every spot. When
Yeah.
did you first get into EDM? When were you first listening to stuff and getting into it?
Yeah, no, thanks for the question. I actually grew up listening to Eiffel 65 was like my first, Blue Dabba obviously,
Yeah.
that song, but the whole album of Europop. I bought that at a record store called Dimple Records. It was out here in Sacramento, RIP Dimple Records. If you remember, that place used to be like the place. There's also Tower Records I used to go to sometimes, but I remember one time I was with my friends and we went to Dimple Records and I bought Europop. This is early 2000s. And uh, that was like my first exposure to, funny enough, it's like we call that bounce now, or Euro bounce, I guess,
Your bounce, yeah.
Yeah, and just super auto tune the hell out of it, and so much just cheesy synthesizers. Like looking back, that was such basic music,
Yeah.
but that was my first exposure. And then fast forward to I think I was like 20. I was 21 definitely. And I was seeing this girl down in LA, and she exposed me to Odessa,
Oh,
the artist
nice.
Odessa, for the first time, because she had been really following them, and I'd never heard Odessa. It was like 2016, 2015, and I was like, oh wait, I recognize a couple of these songs from Pandora or whatever. That changed my life though. Listening to Odessa was like a whole floodgates just opened up of ideas of organic instruments,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just not
I like how they did that. They did
yeah,
all that, the drums
super
and
smart.
all, like,
Yeah, and then now the cinematic
instrumental.
too, yeah.
That is I like how you when you said that it was so back then electronic music was so simple, like, all you guys just like a synthesizer, a bass line, and then, like, a couple drums, and now that everyone has, like, all kinds of sound modulars, all kinds of crazy sound design out there, it's, like, insane.
Yeah, I think we've reached a point now too where like we have to be overstimulated to actually
Mm,
keep our attention in this year.
yeah.
But when you look at like what sounds good and what people like we like to listen to and what we enjoy is actually the most like sometimes basic or simple, something that's at least connects with us. It doesn't need to
Yeah.
be crazy, what's the word for it, but so intricate and detailed
Mhm.
that the simplest things actually usually resonate with us more. And so, yeah, EDM is, I want to say this that EDM is like, we'll probably get into a little bit more about other things in music, but like, I love that EDM like has this complete spectrum that you can make whatever sound. And
Yeah.
you can't do that with, like almost any other genre that I can think of. Like electronic music, you could just make anything and
Yeah,
there's no rules to it. You know what I
you
mean?
could expand it, do, like, experimental stuff here and there, do all
Mhm.
jump into all kinds of different stuff. That's kinda what I'm doing right now, a lot of just experimental, like, tracks, random stuff, break beats, like, crazy melodies or something, and I'm just, like, having fun with it, just doing it.
Yeah.
There's, like, a lot of, other genres where I feel like, they're so you have to be so genre specific, like, in hip hop and rap, is like you can't really experiment too much or get too
Right.
abroad, like, outside of the steps and whatnot, but then EDM, you could throw in all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I like that hip hop artists are turning to EDM or at least electronic elements, and
Yeah,
pop artists like Charlie XCX especially has completely morphed her own brand into electronic
true.
influence. And
And she brought that whole Eurovision
mhm.
scene out
Yeah, and now like
in her new brand,
Americans are
yeah.
now like listening to what they were just listening to in European clubs,
Yeah.
and that's mainstream now. And I'm like,
Mm,
oh, that makes me so happy because we now have deeper hip hop, we have deeper pop, we have deeper rock
yep.
just by bringing in elements from electronic. And I think that it's just such an influential, uh, it's probably the most influential genre in my opinion.
Mhm. How did you, so you're DJing first before you started producing music? Or was
No,
it
actually the
kinda
other way around. Yeah.
yeah.
So I was actually a pretty shite DJ when I first started, but
Oh, yeah.
I was a wedding DJ and, just random gig,
Mm,
open format
just doing
DJs.
gigs, yeah,
Yeah. This is about,
simple gigs.
yeah, this is right after I got exposed to Odessa. So like, it was probably like 2016. I was doing events like, you know, graduations, like a bar mitzvah,
The
like,
private parties kinda
yeah,
stuff,
mostly weddings. And then I
mhm.
actually became one of the DJs at Grand Sierra Resort in Reno,
Oh, nice.
Nevada, that, I became, like, one of their, like, client vendors that was
Uh,
like, "If you have a wedding, hire this guy. He does weddings." And so
oh, that's
I
tight.
I cut my teeth with that, like, 10 years ago for, like, year after year after
Yeah.
year, bringing all the equipment, setting it all up yourself, and, driving out there, obviously, and, yeah, I did that for years, but I was producing music, even before EDM because I was using GarageBand, obviously,
Yeah.
and then I was using FL Studio, Fruity Loops back in the day, and just making random beats and stuff, and never like qualifying it as EDM. I used to record piano, I used to record guitar and drums, like actual organic instruments, and then just track layering and stuff. But I never actually like produced anything really great in my opinion. But I was producing before I actually DJ'd anything, and then learning how to actually DJ a set was like, actually not for me, it wasn't actually that easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you have to, like, learn so much about more, like, about people and environments and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the crowd reading, totally different, and how to tune it tune down to, like, getting the perfect song for the people to dance to and all that.
Yeah, and
That's
s
pretty tough.
DJing weddings and stuff was the funniest one because, like, you knew, like, some things are like, "Oh, if it's open format, play crowd favorites, play top 40, play, hip hop." If they're, like, Bay Area peeps or they're SoCal peeps or East Coast peeps, depending on
Yeah,
where you play regional,
yeah.
any kind
They
of
got
music.
their
Yeah, whatever
little
niche it was.
yeah,
And so you have to get really like obviously into like, all right, what would go off here? And then there's like a couple like ones where like, oh, if I play this song, look, I know it's gonna go. If I play Yeah by Usher, it's like that's gonna go up. Okay, cool, yeah, but like you can't do that for the next 3 hours. Like you just have to like you have to come up and yeah, it was that was actually for me like a lot more stressful now than EDM sets, but like making EDM sets, like a DJ set, like when
Yep.
you're playing a show or a rave or something for an hour, I was like, all right, how do I do that now?
Break it down from intro, building it up, build the tension for like the middle, and get that bring that excitement. But also read the crowd also.
Yeah.
But I feel like now a lot of DJs, even if they're making their own music, like they curate their set or just around their music, so that it's like
Yeah.
mostly their own music. And I feel like sometimes, or yeah, you have to read the crowd and throw in something different here and there just to get that crowd popping or change it up a little, you know? Can't be like just throwing all your own music every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny. I when I first started playing shows, like I feel like with every EDM DJ, before you release your own music, you are playing on other people's music.
Yeah.
And you're learning like the ropes of like, okay, what excuse me, what goes on or what goes off, what doesn't.
Yeah.
And then to you produce, so you know the vulnerability of playing your own music.
Yeah.
You're like, is this gonna go
Is
off?
it gonna hit or not?
Yeah, and everybody hates it. You're just like, oh shit, back to the drawing board. You know, like I gotta redo that song, you know. And or you're like, oh shit, maybe my song isn't that great. But I found out that the more I actually played my own music, or my own edits, or whatever kind of music that you're putting out, can even be originals, that you are now branding yourself as an artist and more importantly as a performer, which is a
Yes.
brand. And I think that when that switch flipped to me a couple years ago, I started going, okay, people are not just going to come to hear your music; they're going to come to actually see you perform. And if they actually if they have a fun time, if they're actually enjoying themselves and going out of their way, now you've made something special. Now you're not just a DJ anymore.
You need to
And
make that night stick with them. With the whole
exactly.
performance with everything around it, from like the visuals, the lights, everything.
Yeah, and that's why we go and see other people, right? We support other artists is because we are like, oh, I actually really enjoy what you're bringing to the day. And I'm like, okay, how do I do that with the music that I'm creating now? Can my music make people feel like that uniquely? And that's the golden equation there, right? That we all as artists try to like, figure out is how do we make something that's true to ourselves, but also makes people actually want to come and enjoy it with us also.
Yeah. Figure out what's gonna make a memory for the fans, for people that actually enjoy your music and then enjoy what you put out there. You gotta make that memorable night for them so that they could just keep coming, hopefully, and keep
Yeah.
listening to your music.
Yeah, exactly.
From now, from DJing private events now to EDM clubs and shows and stuff. How did this all relate back to your piano days, your classical training days?
Well, you want to know how I started with piano?
Oh, yeah,
So
let's
I
hear
was
that story.
9. I'll tell you the crazy story. So I've said this story to like a few close people, but I actually I wasn't musical.
Mhm.
I've been exposed obviously to concerts and stuff through my parents and their music and such, but I didn't want to play music. I didn't want to learn an instrument, but I was terrible at sports, like absolutely terrible at sports. And my parents were like, "Well, shit, we got to actually give him something that's gonna he's actually going to be good at." And so they threw everything at the wall: gymnastics, basketball, baseball,
Yeah.
you know, pick up anything, and none of it stuck. And then at 9 years old, and in like an act of desperation, my mother took me to piano lessons,
Yeah.
like my first ever piano lesson. And
At 9?
bro, I hated it so much. I straight up started bawling because I was like, I'm going to be so bad at this. I hate this. And my father and her were like, at the time, they were like, well, you're addicted to video games and you're going to be a nerd for the rest of your life that's not good at anything. We need you to get you like good at something that's not just video games. And so they said, you're going to basically forcing you to take piano lessons.
Uh,
So I took piano lessons, and I was supposed to do it, I think, for like a year is what they said or something. And I ended up actually, I got good at it, I guess, and just something clicked, and I'm just like, man, dude, this shit's actually pretty really, really easy. And
you just stuck with it.
and I stuck with it. Yeah, exactly right. And then I went all the way up to music school with it, which is kind of funny. Um, that's also another funny chapter, but like, yeah, I ended up getting really good and became classically trained and I played concerts and stuff as a classical pianist.
Nice.
Yeah, before the EDM, obviously,
That's
but
pretty awesome, though.
yeah, but it started out from something that's just like, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. And then you
You're
naturally get good at it, I guess.
you're the rebellious gamer.
Yeah, right.
No, like
I
no.
was so addicted to video games. My parents were like, they were like, if you practice piano for an hour, we'll let you have your video games back. I had a Nintendo Game Boy, like back in the day.
Bargaining with you.
Yeah, so they're like, we'll give you your Game Boy Color
That's
back
funny.
for like an hour. So basically, I had to like put a timer on in the kitchen timer and be like, yeah, hour.
Practice on this.
Sit your ass down and play piano for an hour.
Funny.
And then afterwards, they're like, okay, here's your Game Boy back. You can have it for an hour. And I'm like, cool. So screen time for an hour. And I'm just like, so naturally, right? I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play piano for hours so I can play video games for hours or something.
Switch the time over.
Yeah, dude. And it was literally like a rollover currency. So it was like, okay, 3 hours of piano practice, 3 hours of video games. And that's how I kind of got good at piano, was not because I wanted to get necessarily good at piano, but more so because I wanted to satisfy my addiction.
To game it.
Yeah, to just be a gamer. And then I just got really good at piano, and that led into guitar lessons. I played drums in bands when I was a teenager. I sang briefly. Yeah, I did, and I was in
That
band
just
class.
opened up the whole venture of
Dude,
music.
the whole
thing.
floodgates. Yeah, and then I was a clarinetist, and that's what they call them in band class or whatever. I did clarinet, I did flute, I did I did the piccolo, I did the timpani, I did the xylophone, I
Did
did
it
the
all,
percussion
did you?
instrument,
You're a one-man
bass
band.
guitar. Yeah. I just did it all. It just I just went down the rabbit hole of just like,
Yeah.
music just makes sense to me, and I think that because I have a little bit of the tism, I was like, for some reason, this just makes sense to me. Sports, ass.
Better
Everything else,
than anything else.
ass. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, music makes sense.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. Kind of
Thanks. Yeah.
took it all full stride and did all kinds of stuff. Now you incorporate everything you learn, and then now you're putting it into your actual music production, huh?
Yeah. So music theory is like basically all piano, right?
Yeah.
So you get really good at piano. You're gonna be really composing music theory between your trebles and your basses.
Yeah.
Every interval in between notes and how melodies and everything works.
All the keys, all the everything.
Everything. It makes
Tones,
you'll know all the modes, you'll know everything through piano. But and I didn't know I was learning that. So when I learned how to produce music, or started to produce music on GarageBand, just on the computer, literally it was like, well, this ain't that hard. I'm like, you just drag a note and you're like, I'm just gonna draw this shit and then throw these instruments, and you're like, okay, cool, a track's made. Terribly mixed, sounded terrible, obviously, but and it wasn't professional quality, but it's not that hard if you're like
Putting it together is pretty easy. Making it sound good,
yeah,
like equalizing it and like actually mastering it. That's the part that's like I give up.
I think that's the part with all of us, right?
Yeah,
We all have that thing where
that's that part. That's that spot where it's like you have to really like learn those tricks and tips.
yeah,
That's the hard part.
that was the next frontier though, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, now how do I then you're like, okay, there's no way that everybody's also engineering all that. Yeah, they're also
Yeah.
engineering all this too. And you have to
Doing-
become an audio engineer basically. And that's when I was like, oh, no, I'm not good at that. That didn't translate either.
Yeah.
Like music theory and piano didn't translate over. So I'm like, all right, back to ground zero, being bad at something again, and
Just start over. Take your time.
yeah, but you know how that is.
Yeah.
When you're making music and mixing,
That's the part that's always gets me stressful and gets me overthinking or overanalyzing or always like restarting tracks. sometimes I'll start mixing down a track and equalizing it, and it's like, "That's not what I want it to sound like," and then I just start back all the way over back to the melody and back to the key notes. I'm like,
Brutal.
"Let's start over." Yeah,
Brutal,
it's like,
dude.
"Alright, come
And
on."
you do it over and over hundreds of
Yeah.
times again, and then you make another track and you go through the same suffering again. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh my gosh. And then some tracks you make and you're just like, oh dude, I made it and finished it in one day. And you're like, meanwhile, I have another song on my computer that I've been working on for 6 months. And I'm
Yeah,
just
it's like sitting there on the same stuck on the same thing. That's the rough part. But I think, yeah, when I learned the music stuff, I kinda was like, just because I know bass guitar, a little bit of piano. I remember I was telling you
oh
about
yeah,
that. I know a little bit of piano stuff, not too much. Yeah, and I was also band. I played trumpet and trombone
nice.
and, brass.
Rocker.
Yeah, and then just got into producing with my cousin David. He showed me all that. He's sound engineer and producer, and he just showed me how to use FL and then use the program, and I was like, "Alright, let me just
Are you FL King
explore
also?
this." Yeah. I'm learning Pro Tools now
Oh,
because a
sick.
lot of,
That's a hardcore one, man.
yeah, a lot of, mm, bigger, like, record labels and stuff are now using Pro Tools and stuff, like, for, like, audio recording, like, rappers, singers, and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm still trying to figure out why they like that so much.
I know. So you're not wrong. I've noticed that a lot of producers will do this thing where they'll produce their things on Ableton, Logic, or FL Studio. They'll make their songs on this like program that like we say as DJs, like we're like, oh yeah, this is the normal one. Even Reason, like some people still use Reason, and I'm like, cool. And then they go to they stem it all
Mhm.
out, and then they engineer everything on Pro
On
Tools.
Pro Tools,
And
yeah.
I'm like, am I behind? Yeah, you're just like, you're like, am I minimally processing again?
And then Pro Tools is so, like, on the dot, like, on everything. It's so tedious, like, you have to
Yeah,
really, like, dial it down to where it's, like, pretty much perfection. It's
yeah.
pretty crazy.
I have mixing engineers that I've hired before for other tracks I've made, and they all use Pro Tools, and I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, a lot of
I was like, this looks like Chinese to me. Like when I'm on FL Studio versus Pro Tools, I'm just like, I don't know how to make heads or tails of any of this, bro.
yeah,
And they're
that
just
one's
like, oh,
hard.
it's easy, And some of the best engineers are all on Pro Tools, and I'm like, cool, dudes. Neanderthal over here. I'm not gonna be. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Pro Tools is so professional. I'm like, I get overwhelmed. It's like, we can learn that later."
Yeah, that's straight though. But at least you have like a footing. I know I got nothing. It's pretty fun.
It's there. Yeah, I used to use FL a lot. I use Ableton now too, and then Logic. Logic mostly for like singers and stuff when they send me stuff over.
Oh,
I
nice.
kind of like mix down their vocals on Logic. Sounds a little bit cleaner on the mixing side.
That's cool.
uh,
And I like that you can use whatever and you can still make a great sound.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's some guys that are just exclusive, and I'm a pretty exclusive dude. It's just one program. But I used to get. You probably know, like as DJs and any kind of upcoming DJ or an artist in the EDM world, like you see another artist and they say, "Oh, you're only gonna make it if you use
Oh,
X.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
only do it if you use
Use
Ableton."
this or that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the better you get, and you've been doing this for years
Mhm.
now, and you know how it feels where you're like, actually, you could do
You
whatever.
could use whatever.
Yeah, and I'm
Could
like, "Oh,
use
thank God, dude, because you have that moment where you're like, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting years?
learning this one from that one.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should abandon ship and do something different.
Uh,
Yeah, I like
I
it.
feel like
So it's fun though.
that those doll wars are kind of over
Oh
now
my
because a lot of
gosh,
people are bouncing back and forth a lot now.
yeah.
I always thought it was funny. I was like,
It is.
I
It
kind of
was,
laugh
yeah.
at it. Yeah, I always
That
thought,
stage is funny though.
yeah,
As an artist, it is funny to like hear everybody's like bickering about which program is best, and
what
you're
to
like,
use.
dude,
Yeah,
the-
and then I've been in like professional like sound recording studios,
mhm.
and they're like using like 10 different programs. I'm like, dude, like some programs like just like even like from making like or making music from analog into recording just
Yeah.
different programs just for an analog equipment. Like there's so much out there to make music.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny how like everyone thinks that, oh, you got to stick with this one.
Yeah. The music we used to listen to, before we were probably even born, it's like they were making it on tapes.
Yeah.
We still play the song. We will still play the songs out. It has to get remastered or whatever, but like we still play that. So it's not so much about my favorite quote was always, you probably heard it before in the producing world. It's like, it's not the paintbrush, it's the painter.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
painter,
So
yeah.
after I like really started, you have to really believe in yourself and go, okay, like it's okay that it's not, what everybody else is doing, but
Yeah.
it's
You
still
don't
sounds
have
good.
to, yeah, you don't have to follow the trends. Just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you make good music or makes you feel like comfortable in what you're doing, then
Mhm.
just stick with that. That's kind of how I've been doing it now. I kind of just make kind of whatever I want now. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, let me just do whatever I want.
That's kind of like where I came up with the name Seso, though, was like I literally make whatever I feel like.
Mm,
I make techno music now. My most performances are techno.
yeah.
But if you've ever come to like one of my like bigger sets that's like at a warehouse or an actual like concert venue, I'll throw in drum and bass. I'll throw in a break. I'll
Well,
throw in a lot of bass music.
switch it up.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know. I don't I take music seriously, but I feel like life shouldn't be taken too seriously. So I have to remind myself that when I'm making a set that it's like it's less so about me and more so about the vibe and the experience of everybody. I think I'm still working on it, but I think that it's useful because it helps me check my ego as an artist where I go, okay, listen, this is like not so much about me and my craft that I'm showing to everybody, but it's more so about like what can we actually contribute to people? What can we contribute
Mm,
to the world? And how do you use your talents? And it's like, oh well, make an experience. Doesn't have to just be
yeah.
techno if you're a techno artist. If you're making house,
Mm.
doesn't have to just be house. You can have some fun, and that's why that's why I
Make it
like it.
stand out, make it memorable for
Yeah, make it
people.
different. There's no
Yeah.
rules to this.
Yeah, there is no rules to this. Then DJs should be blending from like 100 BPM to like 175 or something, you know? Like
I love 175, dude.
have fun with it.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of 175s in my sets. So I'll start like minimally. My slowest songs I think I play now are like 145 beats per minute, and then I'll just crank it up to like a 175, you know, boost or something, and I'm like, all right, guys, we're going fast.
That's
My
funny.
my favorite artists, my favorite artists do that. I found out that I was like, okay, my favorite artists were like Skrillex in the EDM scene. And I'd listened to Skrillex even before like I started getting exposed to Odessa because like everybody was listening to Skrillex in 2009, 2010, and the early US dubstep, bro step days, and that stuff like I didn't understand it. I just thought it was mainstream music, but I didn't realize it was EDM. But that stuff was all over the place, especially the original throw step was like some of it was house, some
It
of it was
was,
just bass
yeah,
house and
it's
electro house,
got the kick snare pattern, it had that same pattern of like a house.
Exactly.
Pattern.
Literally was
It's
house
just
4 on the floor,
yeah.
and then there'd be, like, a song that was, like, two-step dubstep,
Yeah.
140, and you're like, "Okay. Same set, though?" It's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah," and
yeah.
you're like, "Oh, cool," and
Yeah.
so now I'm like, "Hey, like, it doesn't need to just be the same speed or the same genre the entire set. You can have some fun with it."
Yeah,
You know?
switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So your top genre right now is techno right now? Is that what
Definitely
you're
definitely hard techno, but because like I already know, like if this ever gets like into the hands of the techno snobs. You see
Yeah.
techno snobs in comment sections. Oh, guys are brutal, mate.
This is not techno.
It's like like I feel like you guys like wake up in the day and go, I'm gonna now comment. This is not techno. This isn't real techno on like a video or something.
Alright.
So I make hard techno, which is funny because like I don't make like industrial hard like Berlin nightclubs.
The
Like,
European stuff, yeah.
yeah, I don't make
That's
like
crazy.
I don't make like dark Berlin nightclub rave warehouse of techno. I play some of it in some of my shows, but I'm like, that just sounds too angry. So I try to bring the melodic stuff of like future bass. A lot of my first music I released was future bass under Seso back in like 2017, 2018. And then I said, okay, we're going to bring melodic shit like Seven Lions and Elenium like influence stuff. Like we're going to bring that into hard techno. And then it kind of, yeah. And then it ended up turning into like, don't know what I'm doing with other things, but having fun. So, try my best.
That's funny. Yeah, we're all out here trying our best, having fun. Don't be a techno snob.
Don't be a techno snob. Stop commenting. This isn't real techno.
So from producing music, DJing events, going out crazy with the content.
Content farming.
I know.
Cringe farming.
I know you're really big into health and fitness. How do you balance all that from nightlife, DJing to your fitness stuff?
Yeah, that's funny. Everybody's always like, because if you go into my home, you won't find anything like artificial. You won't find any like, random like junk food or anything. Everything's like some health food, organic.
That's good.
No sweeteners, nothing. Like I'm so sneaking health nut. I'm like the LA, what's it called? The LA hot girl that's like, basically trying to be like all organic and everything, eat only salad basically. And then she goes and ruins it all every weekend by just drinking and doing everything, right?
Party.
That's basically me. So, and I didn't even coin that. One of my best friends called me that. He says, you're like an LA hot girl. And I'm like, thanks, bro.
That's funny.
But the reason why I do that is because I want to be able to like, the DJ lifestyle, bro. Like we have fun and we party and stuff. But in the end of the day, like when it comes to Monday, I'm like, I have to actually lock in. So I literally try to be fit to supplement my lifestyle, not my lifestyle to supplement my fitness, essentially, if that makes sense. Like I'm not trying to be fit to be better than anybody else. I'm literally just trying to be as healthy as possible so that I could have as much fun in this life as possible. And that's always been my mentality is never to fish like it's never been to be like, a health nut. It's been more so to like biohack my way out of, whatever we decide to do, be it a bender, be it,
to make it through
an all-nighters. Yeah, the all-nighters to beat the if you drink too much or something, I definitely have fun, but I know how, not know, but I try to hack the ways to basically be like, yeah, I don't want to end up, unhealthy looking. I don't want to end up, messing with my body essentially. Right. And, the only way you can do that is by literally like, trying to be as disciplined as possible so that you can also live a lot more, what I feel like. Versus the opposite of never wanted to fall into was basically indulging. Can you imagine like only having fun and then never actually taking your health seriously, or maybe not even just taking all your health seriously?
Usually sick all the time, or
and I don't get sick that much anymore. So
out of it.
yeah, so like I shout this out. This isn't medical advice, obviously, but I like tell my friends, I'm like, have you ever heard of glutathione supplements before?
I have not.
So glutathione is in those banana bags. If you get an IV treatment to help you, basically, it's an antioxidant. And I take that as an oral supplement, which that has obviously, there's a lot of controversy where it's like if it actually does anything or if it's just placebo. But I'll do that. Literally just to biohack my way out of drinking. I'll take liver support stuff. I'll drink a shit ton of electrolytes the night before. And I just try to basically offset any bad, like not bad decision, but any kind of vices that I use in my life. I try to biohack my way out of it. And I'm open about it because I want people to know that I'm not a expert on health or authority, but I do try to obviously find ways to balance fitness and DJing.
The balance is the important part. You gotta learn how to keep it all under control.
Yeah, while still enjoying it at the same time.
Right. And what keeps you like consistent on all that?
Dude, discipline,
The
bro.
discipline, the
Yeah,
mindset.
and it's not like it's not like those motivational tapes or those like videos.
Yeah.
I'm no David Goggins, bro. I'm not like a Jocko
That's
Willing,
funny.
like gotta grind it, you gotta lock it in, I'm not gonna use my voice to be like you should lock it. It's like no, I just think that discipline is like necessary. I think discipline's attractive.
Mhm.
I think we're attracted naturally to disciplined people when we see somebody who actually has something to show for,
Mm.
their work.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you've obviously disciplined yourself to be an artist, and that's attractive in
Mm.
our world, right? And so I think that discipline itself is like I think it's attractive. I think you actually have something to show for it.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of mentors in my life. I had three different people that were mentors to me. I had
Uh-huh.
my piano mentor, which was my piano teacher. I had a business mentor for several years, and then I had a life coach
Okay.
actually for about 7 years, a little under 7 years, from 18 to 24. And, or that'll be 25, I can't remember. But yeah, 18 to 24, 25-ish. And all three of them taught me different things. But um, the biggest thing that all three of them kind of had in common was I sought them out.
Mhm.
Obviously, the piano one was kind of forced upon me, but him and I still have a really good relationship. Like, 24 years later, basically,
That's awesome.
yeah, we're still friends and we have each other's numbers and we text every now and then. But like they always told me this phrase. They said, "Don't settle for mediocrity in a world that celebrates it."
Oh, wow.
And then my life coach, she's always tell me that. She
Yeah.
says, "Don't settle for less in a world that is okay with less." And so I think that to me, that doesn't mean obviously to put anybody else down or make
Yeah.
myself exalted upon anybody else, right? But to me, it's more like if you want to get more out of life, you can't do the bare minimum and expect to get more. You have to literally, for lack of a better word, lock in. And the only way to do that is through discipline,
True.
not
Keep that
motivation.
focus. Just
Yeah,
focus on
regardless of
it.
how
Yeah.
you feel. Yeah. So like it's like when you're making music.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make music only when you feel like it? Can't do that and have longevity in this. Are you only gonna
Yeah.
play a show and have a good attitude about it when only you feel like it? It's like can't do that either. You
Yeah.
have to just do it. And so discipline in things like working out, discipline in things like logging your food and eating for the most part correctly,
Correct.
or what we would call just healthy. All that is all part of like, don't worry about how you feel.
Yeah.
We legitimately try to maximize your life by doing it. Even on the most days you're not going to feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And that's
Good or bad days. Yeah.
yeah, it's so my business mentor told me this, and he said, if you want to be successful in business, and in any field, obviously, because music obviously is a business in itself. He says to be actually successful, he says it's not you're not going to be the success isn't determined by the amount of times you won when it was going well. Success is determined by how many times you still do it when you had loss.
Oh, that's
That's
big.
hard.
That's
That's
big.
what separates winners from losers. He used to always tell me that. He said that you can't win just by things going well. I call like the guy who is born 7 foot tall and plays in basketball.
Yeah.
That sounds great, but he might be easier for him because he's advantaged. How's he going to deal with an injury? How's he going to deal with if he's more prone to injuries? How's he going to do when he's more prone to things not going well for him? That's going to determine if you're actually really good. See, and so discipline that is the thing that separates us from being mediocre and just doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And from the greats that we look up to, the only way they got there was through elements of discipline.
Discipline, pushing through it
Yeah, not on the good days, but on the bad days,
on the bad days,
which are
or
more
the most important.
yeah, and they're a lot more often
Yeah.
than your good days when things you wake up and you feel good, everything's going great. You have everything, all your T's are crossed and all your I's are dotted, and nothing bad is happening. You're not sick. It's like, nah, dude. Yeah, my mom makes say that though. all
That's
the
a
time.
big eye opener right there. I like
Yeah.
that.
And the better we get at just like learning how to make music, just like we learn how to work out properly with right form and being disciplined and doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The more you practice discipline, the better you get at it. But nobody, he used to always say this, he says, nobody is born with discipline.
True.
And that's like a muscle that you have to actually legitimately train.
Build that. You got to build that up in your mind, your mindset.
Yeah.
to get through there.
Mhm.
Those pretty good mentors you got there.
I legitimately, like, I'm always laughing, like, whenever I bring him up because I'm just like, dude, I had such a freaking, like, advantage having 3 different individuals, like, basically help me, like I'm more grateful to them, like, probably than anything in this world because I I have, like, people and they're all older than me,
Mhm.
well older than me, and I think that was like a cheat code. Like, legitimate, it's like somebody who's beaten the game and you're playing the same game,
Yeah, yeah.
and they basically tell you, "Just do it this way and you'll beat it," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And, lo
Do
and
it like
behold
this.
yeah, basically, and I'm like, "Well, shit," like, such a huge advantage that I'm just like, everybody should always find in my opinion, I think everybody should find someone, seek out somebody, it doesn't matter the cost, seek out somebody that could actually teach you what you need to do,
Yeah,
essentially. 'Cause figuring it out on your own is obviously really cool and all, but it's really hard.
it's hard. It's
Yeah.
rough.
So those people definitely made a giant impact on all elements of my life,
Yeah.
essentially, like,
That's
helping me
pretty
become better.
that's pretty kind of a wild, like, crossover too, how they're in, like, different, like, lifestyle s points or whatever, but then they all come and told you, like, one thing that they relate to everything in their life. That's kinda crazy.
It is, yeah, dude, and I didn't even mention this too. I used to have a weightlifting coach
Oh,
too,
yeah.
and that was like another, that was like another kind of a mentor figure in my life, dude. 'Cause that
Mhm.
was for several years. Because I used to compete in weightlifting. Well, actual like
Nice.
Olympic weightlifting is what it's called. And when I was training for that, we were grinding out. This is all while I was still doing music, obviously, or at least starting music. But we were um, grinding out so much workouts. It was like 6 days a week and doing like 3-hour sessions
Oh, wow.
every day. And people don't know, like, a lot of the times Olympic weightlifting gets uh, thrown in the same realm as, like, powerlifting is.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And are familiar with like the snatch and the clean and
Yeah,
jerk?
yeah.
So I was like obsessed with that. I love those when I started working out. Um, and I was like, man, I really want to get good at that. It looks really cool. I wasn't like a big bodybuilder looking dude. I was like, I don't know how to enjoy bodybuilding,
Mm.
but I wanted to do that. And so when I started working out at 14, I got my first gym membership and I was walking to the gym. I used to see these guys do that. And I was like, so cool. But I'm a music guy and I'm a nerd. I was a skater too at one point too. And so I was just like skateboarding, making music, punk rock kid, you know, playing piano obviously too and shit. But then I was like, dude, I really, really, really want to do weightlifting. 'Cause I saw this guy in the gym doing it and I was like, that was so cool. And he's
Yeah.
so strong. I was like, I want to get better at that. So I got a coach closer to my 20th birthday. Eventually, because I'd already been doing it, but like I got an actual coach, taught me how to do it. And we were working out 6 days a week, 5, 6 days a week, but 3 hours minimum, and they were all squats.
Oh, man.
Dude, you're doing 3 hours of leg exercise.
That's
5 6 days a
crazy.
week. So you're just like could barely
Walking
walk all
around,
the
like,
time.
wobbling.
Yeah, it's like some guys only do leg day once a week. So most guys skip leg day.
Yeah.
We're doing leg day 5 6 days a
Oh,
week.
man.
And we did that for years, dude. And I was just like, and I got really good at it. I got really good at squatting. I got really good at the lifts and stuff. But I was just like you, I call like those kinds of things like very, very, very different approaches to like what people think of when they think of like fitness. They think, oh, you're just going to the gym and working out and eating right,
Mm.
getting more muscle and looking good for summer, right? And then I said, I want to actually become strong and have injury prevention and know how to do like almost all movements. I want to be flexible.
Yeah.
I want to do everything. Kind of like with
You don't
music,
wanna be
right?
fragile.
We don't want to be fragile. We'll also look like you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
but like, you actually are doing it wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, and so you take those, I take those lessons from even my weightlifting coach that taught me like all these lessons essentially being like, you could look strong, but you're not actually strong. You could, pretend to do the things, but if you're not doing it technically right, it's going to show up later
Yeah.
and you're going to instantly get exposed that you're not actually doing it the right way. And so I took that into business. I took that into music, especially when we're DJing, where it's like, you might get lucky and like play a set because it's all really easy. People like it because it's a really easy crowd.
Yeah.
You might have like everything literally laid up for you, but if you like don't have any advantages. If you are legitimately like not, you don't have any advantages to be good at this thing. You have to really, really lock in on getting good at it so that you don't get exposed later and like you play a show and completely bomb.
Mess up.
Yeah. Or you don't know how to handle it when things don't go right. And so I tried to find things that I wasn't good at and I really wanted to do. And then I found like, okay, I really need to get good at this. Let's actually get good at it.
Really learn it.
Yeah.
And the trade or whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, looking back, I was like, dude, if somebody told me I'm like to get good at this, you have to do this many hours, this many thousands of hours, I'd be like, God, a lot of stuff to do.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But then you start believing in yourself more and more and more and more, the more things, the harder things you do, and so I'm grateful for all those. I'm grateful for all those experiences. The life, it's a really fun life, well lived.
And you're still going.
Thanks.
But I think, yeah, you got to really learn the different things that whatever you're interested in, really like break it down, learn it, go through the discipline, push yourself through it,
Yeah.
like just make it through. Right now, I'm in I've been doing CrossFit for a year now.
Oh yeah.
So I've been
That's
doing
brutal.
Yeah, I've been doing those lifts too, the Olympic lifts. Those are pretty tough.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was the CrossFit Open, the last day.
Oh, nice. Are you
So I
in
did
it?
I did it, yeah, yesterday.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was pretty rough. My legs they're a little sore today, but
Yeah. What was the workout? Do you remember?
it was so those 2 rounds of 12 burpees, 12 power cleans, 12 thrusters
Cool.
for 2 rounds with weight 1. Then
Yeah.
the third round, the weight goes up, and then the 6th round, the weight goes up.
This is a ladder that just keeps getting higher.
Yeah.
Gross.
I didn't.
Burpees and weightlifting is like why I did CrossFit. I did CrossFit briefly back in 2013 to like 2015, 2016. I did it at a gym for the conditioning aspect while I was doing weightlifting. But CrossFit was so freaking hard, bro.
So much.
It's so painful, dude. It is so much going on. But like the props to you, dude. CrossFit is something that I wouldn't do again because like I legitimately didn't enjoy it at all. I was like, this is so painful.
Yeah, that workout yesterday was a rough one.
Yeah.
But I've been learning a lot from CrossFit too, and I've been really disciplined on my eating stuff too, on my nutrition.
Have you noticed that though? The more you eat better, the better you feel when you're working out.
Way better.
And that makes you feel better,
I've learned a lot from eating healthier now. I felt like now like my energy's up, and then now I like sleep great. Like everything just kind of flipped over.
Yeah, dude.
I've been what you've been saying, locked in.
Yes, dude. Good job,
I've
bro.
been doing it.
Hell yeah, man. It's a movement, dude. We're bringing it, mate. This is
I know a lot of people that I've been having on recently they're all starting crazy fitness goals, crazy life goals. That's even apart away from like their dreams of like music or whatever their dream is, becoming an actor or something.
Yeah.
They have like real life goals of just being healthy, and I think that's everyone's coming around to be doing that now.
Yeah, I think that is like becoming more mainstream, and that's a good thing to become more mainstream because now it's you can never stop working out. You can work out to the day you die, and it'll just make your life better overall.
True.
Yeah, and regardless of our industries, be it DJing, be it acting, be it just a normal like blue collar or 9 to 5 job, like exercise,
It's gonna help.
Yeah,
in the long run.
you have a better life. Like just straight up, like, I tell everybody, like life gets so much better once you start taking accountability for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're a DJ. Even it's like you literally can make your life a lot better with taking accountability for your own health. And shit, it like
makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's more than just the muscles. You know what I mean? It really is a lot of fun. And you can do it at any phase of your life. That's why I just like I love it.
True.
Yeah,
You can.
CrossFit Open workouts, bro. Respect to you guys. I competed in the Open, I think, twice in my life.
Oh no.
And but it was painful as fuck.
Yeah, they got a lot going
They're
on.
the most diabolical workouts.
Yes.
If anybody's ever done a CrossFit Open workout, you know what I'm talking about. Like they're always like They're the biggest testers of,
It's
like, how strong your mind is.
that pretty much that's what it is,
Yeah.
honestly. It's pretty much if he could last, like, for the whole time cap limit, it's like he could keep going.
Yeah, my friend Chris, shout out Chris Bunkley, you know who you are. He's in the Air Force. I think he moved somewhere in the Midwest now, but him and his wife, super cool couple. He competed in the NorCal regional last year. And funny enough, the CrossFit Games reached out to me to actually DJ
Oh,
the NorCal
nice.
regional last
That's
year. So
awesome.
yeah, it's the most random thing. I was like, okay, I'll DJ CrossFit Games. I was like, can't believe I'm DJing the CrossFit Games. It's the most random thing ever. But no, never, didn't have that on my bingo card. And I ran into my buddy Chris. He came all the way out here from I forget how it happened, but he essentially got invited out here because it was a regional and for the invitational. But that guy's a freaking unit. Dude. I'm like, the guy's a freaking unit, dude. Like to see the top of the top athletes in that sport, it was so inspiring. I've never seen so many fit people
Yeah.
just ridiculously strong, ridiculously fast. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, this is inspiring, you know?
It
To dudes
is.
like me that's not like athletically inclined like that at all anymore. And I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Seeing that gives like, when I was at the open and I was seeing well, it's at the gym I go to, Pace Fitness, and then there's a lot of people that are obviously bigger than me and, like, been doing it for years, and it's so, like, motivational, like, just seeing and, like, doing it and, like, gets me pumped. It's
Yeah.
like, "Ah, I wanna do it
It's
too."
inspiring,
Yeah.
bro.
It's like,
I'll say
"Let's
this.
do it."
Yeah. I didn't say this earlier, but one of the things that I love the most is seeing you grind,
Oh, yeah.
seeing you do stuff like this because it inspires me that I'm like, oh, thank God somebody else is also working.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that straight because a lot of the
Someone's
times,
doing something.
yeah, somebody's actually doing something because now I don't know about you, Alex, but like the older I get, the more I realize that we lost a lot of like our inspirations.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you have like role models, you have your
A
heroes.
bunch of them too.
Yeah, and you have the people you looked up to and be like, I want to do that one day.
Mhm.
And I feel like we've maybe because of just our age in the technology age and with modern social media being so overstimulating because things are such low attention span now that we've now lost, in my opinion, like we've lost a lot of things that inspire us.
Yeah.
So when I see things like, other guys working hard or people excelling in whatever field that they're doing or whatever, it inspires me. And then that in turn inspires other people the more excellent you become. And I think that with the only reason why I feel like we've been able to do this for so long and keep going is by keep reminding ourselves like why you did this in the first place. And then you see other reasons that remind you, other things that remind you. Oh, that guy's crushing it. That reminds me of why I did this.
Yeah.
Oh, that girl is crushing it. That reminds me of this, of why I'm doing this. And it's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love seeing people that are like trying to strive for excellence all the time.
Yeah. Seeing that also, yeah, it's just pushes you, and then to me, I like seeing everybody just doing it, and it's like, man, we're all doing it, you know? Like, we're
Yeah.
all getting to it.
As DJs too, it's fun when we do see each other on the same lineup or something, and you're like, "Oh, dude, good
Yeah.
to see you on this." It's like genuinely, you're just like, "Oh, dude, I haven't played a gig with you in freaking years or something," and it's just good to see the same names that you're like, "Oh, dude, you're still doing this? Hell yeah, bro, let's
Yeah.
go."
Don't
But it's
give
busy
up.
as hell. Yeah, our schedules are busy as hell with this industry, but when you find out your friends are still doing it, no way.
Yeah.
It is pretty.
Pushes you a little bit more.
Yeah. It only gets better too. It's way more fun too. The better you do get.
Definitely. Right now, so with all of that you got going on right now, what version of yourself are you seeing yourself become? What is the version you're becoming?
Dang, that's a good question.
It's the last question.
That's an awesome question for last. Can you say it again real quick?
What is the version you see yourself building towards?
Oh man, dude. So I hope this resonates with somebody out there.
No.
Um, I am my most happiest I've ever been in my life right
Ooh,
now.
that's a big saying right there.
So I hope this resonates with people out there. That the happiness is not the destination, it's the journey is one of my favorite quotes. And the success isn't in the destination, it's in the journey. And that switched in my brain 2 years ago when I realized that in my life, I have a lot of things checked off. And I was like, cool. So the best version of myself, I really feel like, isn't necessarily a destination of me playing a festival like EDC or Coachella one day, uh, or making a song that gets worldwide recognition, right? Um, my best version of myself is who I am today, as long as it's better than yesterday. But the happiness I feel today is a peace and a happiness that I wouldn't trade for anything. So some of my friends are crushing it in our industry. They have told me personally in secret and confidentially, they've been like, I don't feel that happy. But they come to me for it. And I tell them, and I say, dude, I feel so happy on my stage right now. With just like a couple thousand listens, streamers and fans a month. I freaking love my life, bro.
Nice.
I get to play a show. I'm like, I freaking love my life. My health is good. I'm blessed that my health is good. Very blessed my career choices I've made and stuff outside of music.
You're just loving the progress of it. You're just loving
and I can
how it's
enjoy it.
rolling.
Yeah, and I can enjoy it now. And I found out that it becomes a magnet for people who are trying to find happiness too. That they wonder. There's this lovely person I was seeing last year, and she asked me like, what it feels like to wake up in the morning. She goes, "How does it feel?" And I go, "I wake up every morning." I told her, I said, "Well, it feels great." I said, "I wake up and I just like breathe a breath of fresh air. Like I'm just grateful to be freaking alive, and I get to do this thing another day.
Yeah.
Like I get to live life." She told me that she goes, she's like, I feel like I got that vibe from you. She goes, "I've seen your stuff on social media, and it just I don't complain. I
Yeah.
like some shit is terrible shit has happened in my life that I won't open up on this podcast, obviously, to bring it down, but like some terrible shit has happened in my life, and I don't focus on it. I go, yeah, dude, like I get to do what makes me happy. I got to do this in very poor circumstances when I used to live in very terrible circumstances. And now I get to live in better circumstances. But I genuinely wake up each day and I practiced being happy with where I'm at now. So if my music career gets better or more successful, then it only will add to the present happiness and peace that I currently experience,
You're
bro.
already living it.
That's my best version of myself. That's my next version. That's what I feel like everybody could. I hope everybody resonates with
Yeah.
that your current version is sometimes enough, and if you can at least enjoy that, dude, it doesn't matter what success you have next. Your next release is a hit or a flop. It doesn't matter as long as you're loving.
You'll still be happy and
Yeah,
loving life.
and I love my life already, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and thanks for having me on this, bro. Like, super appreciate you, obviously,
Thanks
taking
for
the time.
coming out. That was a good last answer right there. I like how you said that you don't dwell on like the negative. You're just focused on what you got right now and the positive, huh? I think a lot of people need to see life like that.
It's not destination,
Yeah.
not destination based. And if you don't think I'll be happy, I'll say this because I was in this conversation with this girl I was mentioning. I told her, I said, because she asked me, how do I stay so happy? And I say, if I say I'll be happy when I'm going on my next vacation, I'll be happy when I get this next thing. And then I told her, I said, the commonalities between all these statements are, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy if.
You gotta be happy now.
Yeah, it's conditional happiness. And the best thing that we could all wish for ourselves, bro, is like, imagine you have unconditional happiness. Like legitimately unconditional happiness. The happiest people I've ever met, you've probably ever met. They have an unconditional happiness in their life that just goes, I'm gonna be happy regardless. And dude, when it's not destination based, you get to like essentially create your own destination in your mind.
Mhm.
Like you basically can just practice being like, yeah, dude, I'm freaking happy where I'm at right now with the
Live it
people.
that way.
Yeah, with the people I have right now, not the people I'll have later, not the things I'll have, not the physical things or the achievements I'll have later, right? When I,
Yeah.
grind to the top. It's like, bro, you could be happy right now. Keep grinding, obviously, too,
Yeah.
but you could be very happy where you're at right now.
Think of the positives you got. It's awesome, man.
And where you've been to.
True.
Where you definitely been from
You
can
learn
definitely
from.
make you just go, dang, what a wild ride so far. Like not even close to halfway done or something.
I know everyone's still going. Everyone's got to still keep going, pushing.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like what you said there.
Thanks.
Everyone just stay positive out there.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
As much as you can. There's a lot of shit that's going on in the world right now. True. It's so weird. It's really hard to be positive, obviously. But in all tragedy, you can definitely go, well, you can't really get worse.
Yeah.
You can't really get worse than this. And not to be insensitive to people that are actually experiencing real tragedy. Like I've definitely, my heart goes out to those people. There is a piece. I've met some of my friends that have they come from countries as refugees to this country. And they too, I've never met more people, more giving, happy, selfless people than people who come from tragedy.
Yeah.
People who come as refugees from countries that are war torn and stuff. And they're the most giving people.
They
too.
are.
And I'm like, dude, you guys that have had it the worst are the happiest. And that is what switched in my brain. I just go, oh shit. Maybe not even be so happy and positive, but be more grateful.
Grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, gratitude is pretty freaking cool. Yeah.
It's a good one. Thanks for sharing all that. Thanks for popping out, man. That's a good one. I like what you're doing, everything that you've been doing out there. You've been grinding, locked in, how you say.
Thanks, bro. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Seeing you thrive and move forward and a lot and pushing a lot of boundaries and doing crazy stuff.
Thanks, bro.
You're doing it good.
Shout out Tylenol gang, everybody.
That's Tylenol. You got.
I know somebody's gonna text me one day and be like, "Did you say Tylenol at least?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Tylenol's such a freaking dumb inside joke. I don't keep mentioning. Everybody keeps comments. Everybody keeps sending me Tylenol memes on my Instagram. Every day I get a new person that's sending me some Tylenol thing, and I'm like, oh god, I talked about Tylenol too much on my Instagram. Those random lore.
What's your Instagram where everyone can find you?
Yeah, at seso.music, seso.music.
Check them out on Instagram. You got
Thank you.
some shows coming up, the Fresno one, and
I got a lot of releases coming out in the next 6 months. I got some with some local people from Sacramento, and I've got some people from around the country here in America that I made some songs with, dude. I'm so freaking excited.
Nice.
Got new releases for the next 6 months lined up already. So yeah, every month for the next 6 months, it's going to be a new original track out.
Oh,
crazy excited. Got a lot more work to do, but check out the music on Spotify, SoundCloud, obviously for the remixes and shit. Yeah. Let's go, bro. Lock in.
Check them out on Instagram, on all the music platforms. And thanks for coming out, man. That was awesome. All you guys, stay tuned, check out this podcast and the next episode and the last episode where the conversations are hot and the interviews are on point. Hot point sessions. Thanks for tuning in. Stay hot.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, dude. So good, bro. Your professionalism is insane.